Oh my God, we're back. It's unbelievable. Bulu Bulu, what's up? Starting with our beloved Adam. If you want to start with Adam, we can. I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right. Kind of, what's up, Algo, dude? Tacoma, what's up? Sucks that it's been a while since I've streamed, man. World happens. I evaded it for so long, but we made it. What's good? Shit. I mean, depends. Life's going fine, man. And then Seven, what's up? How you doing? I'm like so pumped to be back. I can't even talk about it. It's literally, I've been looking forward to it like all day. All day. Yeah, man, it's good to be here. It's legit good to be here. It's been far too long. Let's see if I can fix this sound. So I had to like readjust some shit like usual. So let me know how the sound levels are. Think mine's okay. Music still loud? Okay. Workaholic with the sub. Thank you, man. Sub for 4 months. Pretty sick. What's up, Niv? How you doing, man? So what, keep me updated on the sound. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit more and hopefully we get the right ratio of me to the music. I want to vibe, but I can control that here. It's not that loud. Not that loud. Okay. Let me come down a little more. Maybe mic around this music. Okay, I've turned it down 4 decibels. We should be good here. And I'm hopefully not gonna have to touch this much more. But yeah, all right. So, you know, usually when I start these things out, back when I used to have childcare, 4K Jared, what's up, Park? Yeah, no kidding. I'm here. What's up, John? So back when, you know, we used to do this with some regularity, I'd always start off with how you guys feeling. I got an idea about how you guys are feeling, but, you know, stop being a leech and actually hodl. Man, I've not been tripping at all. How you guys feeling, though? For real. JV7XBT, 4 months. Thanks, man. Stables are long. I need to feed the fam. We're going to talk about it right now. Literally right now. I mean, I have it up here. Like, how afraid have you guys been, though? For real. Hammered. Have I been hammered? Park's been stable? Okay. Nothing wrong with being stable, man. You got to protect your capital. You're being stable. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Back and forth. Who panic sold the last like 3 days? Anybody? It's okay. This is a safe space, right? This is a safe space. Dale. Oh my God. Dale in the house. What's up, dude? John, thanks for the sub. I mean, I come back. You guys start subbing because it's been like half a month since I streamed. Sold 66, JV7. Good for you, buddy. I mean, we talked about it on here. Says to sell, cut losses, then shames viewers for panic selling. What a joke. All right. Okay. I don't know who that was, but pretty funny otherwise. Worst fear was Worst fear was Nibbler's dinner taking too long to miss a stream. Dude, yeah, for real. I get that. All right. So I would love to talk about this here because I have not been that bearish, and I'm going to talk about why. I mean, we're getting some nonsense now again down here at this level, but I haven't been this bearish at all. And mainly it was because there were too many good indicators as we were going, right? Too many good things. And I feel like we still have a lot of those good things happening. Like, I wasn't around in 2017, okay? So I cannot speak to that time. I can't speak to that time. But for those of you who were, XXT, what's up, buddy? When you saw the end, like, what happened exactly for Bitcoin and alts when it all fell apart? Like, when Bitcoin was falling apart, is what I meant to say. Bitcoin was falling apart. Were alts making all-time highs, like mid caps? Gary, what's up? I get the feeling that they weren't. Arugula's from the top. Yeah. Before BTC died. I agree. Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm with you on that. Before BTC died. Like, that would be, what, there? I mean, we've drawn down 50%, well, 30% as it stands right now. So it's sort of tough. But when you see things like, I don't know what BingX is. Like Adam literally doing the inverse Bitcoin for the last, like, look at this. It's essentially diametrically opposite the entire time. I was like, you know, it's pretty interesting that things have shifted like they have. Now, BTC Adam's a poverty chart. I haven't even checked it. We're going to do it? Why not? Oh my God. I mean, it's amazing. Look at that. Or if you want to do the inverse. Woo! Off a cliff. Straight up off a cliff. It's kind of hard to believe that that's happening. This looks so similar to me. As the summer. Alexson says turn the music up. All right, see, you know, different strokes for different folks. There we go. I gave it a couple more decibels back. Let me know if it's too much. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. So let's get into it before I get too far sidetracked and we end up going down the alt path or whatever. But this is pretty clear where we sit right now. Okay. Pretty clear to me anyway. You have a shoulder, you have the head. This is a top sign, right? It's a pretty significant head and shoulders. At a fairly large level, and we're coming to the neckline. You go, Jared, that's not good. You're right. It's not good. But this is a pretty damn key level that we're coming up on. And why is it a key level? Yeah, this was all like perfectly wick off. This was all perfectly wick off. And actually, yeah, we're getting there again. I'll get there in a second. But I want you to look at this. This is where, like, Sue had a tweet earlier about if you are ready to sell 2x all-time highs that were resistance forever, which is 40K, then just go back to underperforming playing the SPX. And I agree. For those of you who haven't turned in often, you know that I pulled this up from time to time. This is the VPVR, essentially the visible volume range for an issue. Doesn't matter what it is, you can get it to work. I might have to tweak the settings a little bit. But essentially, it just shows you where people have traded at a certain price over a period of time, right? Exit strategy, yeah, man, that tweet was deep. I mean, it was, though. It was, though. And when you see these zones, okay, where there's nobody that's traded, it means there's nobody defending those spots. And they're very, very weak when you get any sort of volatility. And as we know, because of the standard market, because of the CPI, because of the Fed saying, yo, we're going to raise rates, that we've been susceptible to news to knock us out. But look at the big areas that we've taken on, okay? This big wick down right here, whatever that was, it started December, boom. Really started because there was this vulnerability in the marketplace, okay? This vulnerability. Right here. And there was another one right here, okay? If no one trades in an area, that means when there is volatility and there's heavy selling into the area, who's stepping up to defend their position? They're not. They're not. So the largest areas down. Sorry, I got a new mouse, so I'm working off a little bit of a different. Mouse is sweet, it's just very touchy. The biggest areas happened, if you recall, through the fast area here, and then the fast area again there, where there was literally no one home to defend those areas. Now, you say, well, what happens next? Where's the next fast area? The next fast area is here. And it's straight up Goblin Town, guys. It is down 30,000 to 20,000, right? 30,000 to 20,000. But I get the feeling that these millions, tens of millions of dollars between 40 and 30 are going to have something to say about it. Maybe they roll over, guys. I don't know. But I will say that you typically see a fight into those areas. The fight happened here. Okay? The fight happened here. And here's the most bullish thing I can give you right now. One, yes, there's a bunch of reasons why this should hold. Head and shoulders neckline, previous resistance flip to support. We know that there's a ton of people that have been defending 40,000 for a variety of reasons. I think you'll see people that were on the sidelines get back involved. Okay? It's not going to be easy to short this because you're going to be shorting into a lot of people who built positions here and built positions here, and they've just been free riding ever since. You even saw the buy walls on FTX pop up around these areas. That's typically when you see this shit happen. Now, does that mean they're just going to roll over? No. It's not like, oh, okay, we're right back and let's zip it back forward. But here's what I would say. Just as easy as it came down, it can go back up. Just as easy as it came down, it can go back up. Do I anticipate that happens? Not immediately, but I'm not nearly as bearish as most people out here. Okay? This is the bigger signal, okay? If you remember when we streamed in the summer, I made a pretty big deal about calling the bottom here. And we are essentially trying to do something similar on this div here. It's a little bit more steep there was less time for it to develop. But if you see any what's up, Carolina? Good to have you back, buddy. Curry, S. Curry, good to see you, brother. Arukless is talking shit about Adam in the chat. That's fine. If we see a turn up in the next few days, you will have a verified daily bullish divergence on Bitcoin, which I've talked about all the time. By the way, it's the same divergence here that we called the top on. It's the same divergence here that we called the top on. Do you remember that stream? You can go back and look. November 10th and 11th. It's the same divergence. At resistance there, at support here. Now, we need to see that confirmed. But I like my chances. Peter, what's going on? Appreciate you guys jumping into the chat. No worries. Here's the other thing that I would say. When you look at this sort of a rundown, it's going to be shaky, okay? Like the fear, I don't have it up right now. I don't have it up. But the fear and greed, I think, was at like 10 or 12. Like extreme fear. Extreme fear. Right? Extreme fear. So you have a pretty big area. We're at extreme fear. We have a divergence. You're starting to see some pretty nice stuff. MTA, what's up? Algo dude, I have zero fears. I love it, man. Why would you? Price is condensing. We're into support. There's a ton of people. So Enryu actually has a good point here, man. Fear and greed must be pretty fucked up given how Adam and Near and FTM have been behaving. And you're not wrong, man. You're really not wrong. Because it's pretty bizarre. Which kind of gives you conflicting signals. But MT and Pooty? Yeah, no, dude. I will remember you until the day I stop streaming. Very cool. That you're still here, you're back, and we're actually streaming at night. Now, a word about this. John says is a white dot, all that's to do to confirm the daily div. Yes, but that is what has to happen. The white dot. The white dot on a close, okay? Just remember what the white dot signifies. It signifies a switch in the MACD from negative to positive, and it only is valid at the end of a day. So literally it'd have to close at the end of the day. But we're not even at a place where that would probably even happen tomorrow. Even if we had a good day, it would probably take Saturday or Sunday because this is a lot of selling over a couple of days. Now, this is the index too, and then I'll get to Ethereum. What's one thing that's pretty damn different? Okay. Hello. And then you have this. You know, I don't know how often you look at volume as an indicator. It's not one that I typically look at a lot, if I'm being completely honest. But absence of volume is pretty interesting here. Absence of volume is pretty damn interesting. It generally is. But you know when it wasn't a meme? There. So explain that. It's not something that I bring in as part of like my daily evaluation, right? Concerning that there's been no volume? No, actually, it's kind of the other, right? That's right, it is Elix. So we've had this much of a rinse out and it hasn't really affected that many people. That's pretty interesting to me. That's pretty interesting. Regardless, I am not bearish at support. I generally try not to be bearish at support. Yeah, what's up, Concert? Yeah, I'm here, buddy. Yeah, I'm fine with it down to 39. I don't really care. I would love to have this maintain. This div maintain, right? There's a ton of great setups out there right now, like an absolute shitload. And we're going to go through a lot of them now too, which again makes me think, is this really the end? You know, look at like Pentoshi and look at some of those other guys. Look at KBM, who's like, I'll see you guys at 29. I'll see you guys at $1,700 Ethereum. Like, maybe, I guess. But I don't know why everybody's looking at this level, the level where people actually have to step in to defend positions, and going, oh yeah, these tens of millions of dollars who have a vested interest in holding this level, they're going to give up too. This doesn't add up. Greetings, Bobo. How you doing? Same guys that long 52K calling for the bottom. Yeah, no doubt. The 3-tab? I don't know what you're talking about, man. Look, I've been out of pocket for like 2 weeks because of the COVID situation, so I'm not up on the lingo for whatever you're talking about. So I like this here. Look for a reversal. I'm fine with a sweep down to 39. Really, even right here, 37.3. But I would prefer us not do it. Obviously, for obvious reasons. So, interestingly, 3 touches on the lows. Okay. If that were to happen, it would just, I mean, it would be this, right? It'd be this. And I do think that we will get sort of this rollover, and it's not going to be straight back up. If you guys follow Crypto ISO on Twitter, which you should, I mean, he's like a low-key great person to follow, and nobody really talks about him much. He said something earlier today, which was great, and it's 100% true. The posture of the 50-day matters. It's the only reason why it's the single thing that I keep on my charts at all times. So the posture of the 50-day matters. This was too soon. Start flatten out a little bit, boom, you see the break. So where are we? Yeah, we probably have some move to the right. But if we range, guys, from here, some rips down, rip back up to 45, back down, rip back up to 45, we range down here. You got a problem with that? Hell no, easy mode. Absolutely. It is absolutely easy mode. I am sending a link to everybody's favorite. The People's Champion is going to join us. People's Champion, Kaz, is going to hop on here in a second. Surprise visit, man. Kaz pops in. Ready? There he is. Kaz, you there? What's up, baby? How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Good.
Do you want to share your screen on the call, or should
Yeah.
I watch?
I will, because it makes it a lot easier if I can just.
Yeah. I'll pull up your stream though, so I can see the chat. Nice.
You got it?
Yes.
All right.
They say they can barely hear me. I just turned my mic sensitivity up. I don't know if that'll help. But I don't know. You might need to change a setting on your side too.
I got you. I can turn you up. All right. Talk again.
All right. How is this? Volume good?
Check 2. Check. Kaz is the GOAT. Check 2.
Crank that, Kaz.
Crank that.
Ask Kaz who won the fantasy football league.
Ask Kaz.
Oh, jeez.
How many are you in?
I was in 2 crypto leagues.
Okay.
I think. One with Dale, but it was like 4 leagues in one.
Oh, nice.
I did not win.
Sick.
And then I was in a league, the one that you and me are in.
Nice. Yeah, and I got destroyed in the
Z-
finals of that one.
Z crushed us, bro.
No. Man, I made it to the finals,
That's true.
and then I
Well,
lost by like
yeah, that's-
150 points in the finals, which
That's
is
solid.
pretty impressive.
Dude, even like looking back on my roster in that league, like in our league, I felt like my roster is just so stacked, but I just like could not win.
Stacked, trademark, stacked. Stacked
Right.
labs. Yeah.
Like even when I look at it now, I'm like that team should have done way better.
No.
But it's
know.
all good. My team in the sleeper league, the one with Dale, that one's kind of the opposite. Like I made it to playoffs. I was winning quite a bit, but when I looked at my team, I'm like, how is this team winning? So maybe I'm just the idiot because that's the one common denominator.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was in that multi-league Dale league last year, and I didn't get an invite back because I talked too much shit. So that's how that went.
Oh, that's funny. How's Zeus? Zeus is doing pretty well. My plan is to hang out with you guys on the stream and then go take him for a walk, listen to a podcast, something like that. Just enjoy my Friday.
Yeah, dude. I'm just happy to be able to stream again. It's literally been like 2 weeks, except for that 20 minutes I hopped on with you the other day to talk about
Right.
Juno before I went on an absolute mission.
Dude, that was the best timing ever because if you didn't hop on the stream, I would have been like, all right, guys, there's this coin Juno that I just bought. Don't really know what it does. Don't really know why I bought it. But I know it's part of Atom and I'm bullish on that. So like if you guys want to copy this, it's up to you. I am not sure what I'm doing.
Nice.
But
Nice.
yeah.
Nibbler says, don't talk about Juno. I still need another entry. It looks like it's coming back a little bit, which is fine. I have some cash in hand. I'm waiting. If I get something good.
Excuse me? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so I assume we're not watching the stream because I know you were busy.
I wasn't.
So I want to run through this really quick, and I would love your input, but you can see my screen.
I can see it.
So I have this kind of as a key area here, and it's just an enormous head and shoulders, right? You have left shoulder over here, head coming down, creating a right shoulder on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
The summer resistance, we flipped to support, and that's kind of where we are now, right? We came back down to check
Yeah.
this area again.
Yeah.
I
That
didn't
looks
have this
right.
up initially, but when we called the top in November, it was because of a signal that was a bear div on the daily, and it's literally been like perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
I remember not listening to that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I didn't
that won't
listen
happen again.
I didn't listen as
It
much
was-
as I should have, but
It was tricky because there was, I don't know, there was a lot of conflicting stuff for me, but
there
it is
was.
what it is.
There was. I mean, really, one of my biggest takeaways from this cycle has been to just trust my own shit more.
Yeah.
And just like block out the noise. I already do what I can to block out the noise anyway, but it's pretty tough.
That's actually what I learned too, is to trust you more.
Well, I appreciate you saying
Trust Jared's system more.
that. Yeah.
That's my if I wrote one of those Q1 forecasts like Z and Money with Carter,
I know.
trust smart people more than yourself.
I wish I was smart enough
I'm
to
just
actually pen one of those. I'm not.
Not financial advice.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that
dude,
Z
those
also.
are-
Z has like a math degree. Is that right?
I didn't even know that.
Dude, what?
Yeah, he's a smart guy. I've been I have this one Discord with a few guys. There's like 10, 15 of us, and he's one of them in there. So it's like I've like always known he was really bright, but I didn't know he could write like that. Like
I
that
mean,
was
incredible writer, incredible analysis. Like that dude
that was a
has
hell
been.
of an article.
Yeah,
I remember when he had like 1,000 followers
Dude,
too.
same.
And now
It wasn't
my
that
guy
long
has
ago.
like 80 something, right? I think it was this year or
It-
last year, something like that.
I mean, I've been
Crazy.
around for 2 years, and like when he and I first started following each other, he had like not that many more followers than me. Okay?
Right.
MTA says, "Okay, I subbed. I can't miss the gold, but with ads. So yeah, if you're a sub, you don't get ads." I tried to disable all of that, and Twitch overrode it, so I can't even disable it. I'd rather nobody see ads, but it's not my choice.
Right.
So you see this level, obviously fairly important, and then I don't know how much you use the VPVR, but I like it because it's a good visualization. And it's something that I don't know how much you and I have actually spoken about before, but
I don't
these
think
areas where there's no participants are where you can get these crazy legs down, like what we've just
Right.
had happen, right?
Yeah.
So there's a crazy leg here where there was no participants. There was a crazy leg here down where we caught this wedge. And have tried to get back over, couldn't, and down we go. So we're coming up against the edge of the largest area of support on Bitcoin right now, which is essentially this 30 to 40 area. And
Yeah,
so
it is a pretty big area too.
it's a huge area, which I wish it was.
Strong support, also very large region in general,
Right.
which makes it a little tricky because it's like, how do you really play
Yeah.
this level when it's so big?
Long 40, stop 30, guys.
Right.
That's
And hold it for 6 months.
pretty
While
tough
we just consolidate the entire time.
to get good R. No doubt. But what I was saying a little bit ago is we have this same divergence setting up. The same one we called the bottom on in
Oh,
July.
interesting.
The same one we called the top on in November, which is pretty nice, right?
That is pretty nice.
But it usually doesn't come down from being this damn steep and just turn around. So if you look, like I'm not a fractal guy, but charts essentially are fractals, but I just hate how literal people take fractals.
Right.
You see,
Like the one I posted.
well, no, I mean, but I see
No, I'm
why
just
you
kidding.
posted that, because you
Right.
posted essentially this rolling over doing
And-
the same thing, right?
Yeah. And when I post that, I'm not saying this is going to happen. It's more like something like chop solidation around here is kind of the idea.
Right. So
And maybe like a even lower leg on that third one. Like maybe that's what we get this time.
Sure. So like I just copied this over, right? So from
Yeah.
that perspective of a fractal, I essentially said we were already down. Actually, that would be there, right?
Yeah. something
But
like
but
that.
but then it would actually come back down and roll over. That would make perfect sense. It would make perfect sense for it to
to
take.
bounce up to like 48 and then roll back down.
Yeah, and probably you
Yeah.
know, to be honest, like maybe even less than that. Like just if we're being real.
Right. Basically that like
That
daily supply at
Correct.
46.
Yep.
46.2.
Yep,
Yeah.
that'd make a ton of sense of us to like try to do it to fake it, you know, and then come back down. So
Right.
I don't think it's really a terrible time right now, which again, partially the minority here, but you know, I have not seen a lot for me to be like, oh my God, let's all get McDonald's applications. Like it could still be pretty fun. And look, I wasn't around in 2017. I think you were.
Yep.
But there's a lot.
Didn't know what I was doing, but
Well,
I was trying.
Hey, everybody starts there, right?
Right.
Everybody starts there. So I don't see a ton of reasons to be really afraid now, right? It was
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
missed the time to be afraid, I feel like.
yeah.
I feel like the majority of this nuke is over. I know a lot of people are scared about Arthur's article and things like that, talking about interest rates and how he thinks the entire equity market is going to roll over too. But like that might not happen till the end of the year
Yeah.
or something like that. Or it might not happen this year at all.
It might not
Like,
happen this year at all.
You
That's right.
could have a bearish high time frame thesis like that, but we could still bounce to 60K, make a lower high, and then after July we start dropping down and then go to 30. Like, who knows?
Sure.
That's why I feel like people get worried or afraid of these high time frame narratives and forget that there are moves to play in between.
That's right.
And it's like if people think this is going to 30K, okay, it might bounce from 40 to 60 and then down to 30. So if you have your bearish thesis here and you're scared here and you're selling at 40 because you think it's going to 30 and then miss an entire run up to 60, like who's the silly boy?
Right. And
You
that's like stepping away. Just stepping away a little bit, and that's where like being too close to this can be bad. Like I know you're like me. I look at this stuff all day.
Right.
And it's like, God, what about that level? I was really hoping that one would hold, and then it didn't. So that's very tough to me. Believe it or not, the jobs report today is bullish to me. I know I sent that to you, and I was like, yo, this is actually good.
Because it would like delay whatever else.
Yeah, one of the reasons why they were like this could go badly is because jobs are so good, we don't need the stimulus anymore, and I just don't think that's the case. And nobody's really been able to tell me that. Is it that people have jobs that the unemployment rate is so low, or have people just run out of benefits, right? Does anybody actually know that answer? Because like you only get unemployment benefits for 6 months. After that runs out, technically you're off unemployment. And people will be like, hey, look at that. Unemployment's great. Less people have it. Well, not really. Like, do we know that number?
I don't know. I don't. Someone probably might.
I'm sure somebody does too. I don't know how you bifurcate that. But hopefully. So
yeah, I just like all the narrative on Twitter and stuff right now is super bearish, but it's like it always gets like that after the move already happens.
Yes.
Like during Bitcoin's bounce up to 52 like a few days ago.
Yep.
Well, no, that was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Whatever. From 45 to 51, 52. Everything on Twitter is super bullish. Then after the dump happens, then everyone's bearish. And it's actually a bummer because I was looking to like majorly de-risk some stuff, but thought we'd get to like 54. And I think you and I had some similar thoughts on that, but hey, it happens.
It happens. I'm not really worried about it.
I just think a lot of people are scared about the sentiment and things like that on Twitter. And it's just like a lot of that happens late. Kind of like the Golden Cross and Death Cross that we were talking about earlier. It's like by the time those happen, the move is over.
Right.
And then people get super bearish and decide like, okay, yeah, this is going to go down further. And they sell their spot at 42K. It dips to 41 or 40 and then rips up from there. And they're like, wait, I thought we were all super bearish. Why is everyone bullish again?
Right. Oh, shit. I just sold the lows. And whenever Light Crypto talks, man, I listen. I have mine on alerts. I don't get alerts from him hardly ever. And I love last night.
He barely tweets.
Dude, yeah, like ever. And last night, all he tweeted was, if you just sold that wick, you probably just sold the bottom. Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, sick, you know? Dude just pops in to be like, you're a dipshit if you just capitulated. Thanks.
Right.
And finding out who those people are and know what they're talking about. But this compression of price, to me, it is a bit of a falling wedge. Also moderately bullish. Okay,
I'd be very happy about that.
We just need to squeeze through the other side, but it's not going to happen overnight.
There's that tweet. The stacked bids in that level or in that whole region are just pretty crazy. Like, yes, that was a 1 minute chart, but regardless.
Really? People are capitulating in one of the most stacked bids I've ever seen and into a key support? Emotional. Will be punished shortly, I think. And then he came out to say, like, in a little bit after that. Pretty sure that was the bottom.
Because we did have that, like, little pump or whatever.
Yeah, we're kind of popped up a little bit.
Also, did you see this? Because I know, like, you didn't... I don't think you finished reading Arthur's article, but
didn't.
I know you were saying like you weren't really worried about it or anything like that. And Light actually did quote tweet it. I just sent that to you as well. And I'm wondering what your thoughts on that are, because like we were talking about how people get all
Fucking
bearish
A, man.
when the move is over. Light's, he's usually on top of things. I have his notifications on as well, and he doesn't follow me, but you know, it is what it is.
Dude, hardly anybody follows me that I have those sorts of things on. I turn on notifications for you though, because your stuff's funny. Then you always tweet out like NFT alpha, and I'm like, damn it, I missed it. He tweeted it. Like I couldn't get a message. Like, what's going on over here?
Yeah,
like,
man. Dude, I sold all my Mindfolk, and they're doing well again now.
Are they? I need to buy one.
Well, they introduced this like staking thing on their website. The floor is at 29. I sold at 27, so it's not like
What was the mint?
1.
Oh my god.
And they didn't even like sell out quick.
Dude, shoot me a text.
Bro, it was 3 a.m. your time.
I'm up sometimes.
That's true.
How are
true.
Dragons doing? It's still like 170, right? About right?
Yeah, dude, they're just not. I mean, the USD value's down because of Sol.
Yeah.
But
The
yeah,
problem
people
with Dragons is
people aren't,
actually
like,
this.
panic selling them. Is Sol?
Yeah. Here, I had this up because
Does anyone know why Sol is like broken right now?
yeah, 'cause we got a decent amount of people in here. Does anybody have an idea why Soul is always a straight up bag of dicks? Because it is. It's pretty
I have
bad.
been trying to stake these cops for this cop game that minted yesterday, and it just won't work. Like my Sol transactions are just not happening.
Yeah. I sold Soul here, essentially when we lost the Parabolic flip line. So that like 170 something. I tried. I got out there. I tried to buy again. I sold for a loss. And then we've gone down since then. But it was a decent sell at the time because it's only really gone down since. But honestly, I don't know if I'm really interested until 124 again.
I'm wondering, like, I know the chain or the network is a mess, but I'm wondering, like, why? Yeah, I'm not advocating everyone to go buy Cop Scam right now. I'm just saying, like, as an example, that
Yeah.
my transactions are not like when I try and swap something today on Radium, like that's been super slow too.
Yeah, actually, I thought that Wormhole was broken. And it wasn't. It was just Solana sucks. When I was bridging more money over to
Adam,
Cosmos.
Yeah, I just want to know like what.
So even if can you even jack gas on Solana? Is that even a thing on Phantom?
I don't even know. I just know like nothing is really like I don't know.
Is Phantom the
Like,
place? I mean, so have you been on Phantom much?
Yeah, I've used like FTM, not Phantom Wallet.
Yeah, like FTM. Because somebody said like, nah,
I think FTM is the most undervalued L1.
Do you? Now that Adam has had a little bit of value added to it?
Right, yeah. Of the ones that are left, I think. I don't know. I'll be paying closer attention to Phantom this year.
All right, we'll take a look at Phantom in a second here. What are your thoughts on Ethereum? I didn't even get to that because you were like, "Hey, I can come on." I was like, "All right, sweet, let's do that."
Give me
Phantom flipped AVAX in transactions this week. That's fucked up.
Yeah, dude, they're like all their numbers have been insane, and how much has been happening. It's just their coin is still.
Okay, and then Bobo says, "If I were to sell you FTM really fast, I imagine he's gonna drop some good stuff."
It better be really fast, since he led with really fast.
But while he's doing that, you know, what do you got on? I mean, I'm going to the weekly. The funny part is, I mentioned this to you a while ago. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
I brought it up on stream too.
That div? Yeah.
That div. And it's been literally the top.
That's the one that you and I were really struggling with because it's like, okay, we're perfectly retesting weekly SR, but also there's this div. And then by the time it actually broke that level, like we just accelerated to like
Yeah.
Excuse me, like 3.3K.
It just got bad.
So.
It just got bad. But as this arrow was here to literally point out the target, and the target was 2,900. Okay.
Yeah, we're close.
But look where all the actual support would be. I mean, it's right there, right? The mini support is going to be right where that key area is. So it literally is like, you know, yeah, maybe we go down 2,900, but I would be absolutely floored if we just like, oh God, 28's gone. And straight down to what, 2,000?
Yeah. So I just sent you a little image from Money with Carter's Q1 2022 thesis. He talks about Phantom quite a bit. And this is obviously isn't to say it's going to hit every single one of those, but just like he compares like the transactions and all that Phantom's doing, and then like compares the price and market cap of it with other chains. And it's just like, wow, it feels like it is way on the outside looking in.
Yeah. Yeah,
so it just doesn't have like the hype of the other chains right now. So, like, I think it could 2 or 3x from here, still be the cheapest of all those, still be undervalued, and like that puts it at like 750.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that.
There
we go.
I'm doing more research into it.
Look at that. I don't live produce often, but when I do, I usually fuck it up.
Go.
I did not this time, so
that's
all
smooth.
Right. So re-explain what you just said.
Credit to Money with Carter. Really, I don't want to use his image and not shout him out. I just put his article in the chat, and that's what has drawn my attention to Phantom over this past week.
Okay.
And like read that, then did some more digging into it, and in the article, like he goes way more in depth. But one of the things is like he talks about what the metrics are compared to AVAX, Luna, ADA, Sol, whatever, everything. Sure. And like it does really well compared to them. And then he's like, but look how cheap it is still.
Right.
I don't know anything about the FTM ecosystem alts, but that could be a play at some point. Yeah, like whatever their swap is or something, like their version of Trader Joe or something.
Yeah, I'd get in on that for sure. Arukulos just said not faster than Sol, though. Lately it is, though, brother. Your shit's got to work for it to be fast. I mean, it's...
yeah, like, are the Sol people saying anything about when it's supposed to start working again?
Yeah.
Like,
have they tried turning it off and on again? Because, like, that shit works sometimes.
Dude, it's funny that you say that because I was literally thinking up a tweet to be like, hey, Anatoly, notice Sol is a little slow. Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
Dude, 100% for real, though. Like, 100% real on that. Like, what exactly are they doing? Workaholic said Sol's been pretty good for me today. It was sketchy yesterday. I have not tried transacting on Sol like legitimately since I sent out like 85% of my money I had on there to go to Cosmos. So I just have my dragons and I'm yield farming some stuff. And that's about it.
Just asking.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't block me, like think I'm being a dick.
Nah.
I'm a very big Sol bull, Anatoly.
So JP, why is Adam fucking up right now? What is it, down like $3? I don't know what it's down to, so I'll look at it in a second. But
it was green on the day for a little bit, but now it's at like 38.50.
Yeah, 38.50. That's fine. I mean, guys, it's been up only during like the worst sell-off of this market, apart from May, right?
Yeah.
So, this was the image that I tweeted out to everybody. That was like essentially falling right in line with the Wyckoff reaccumulation schematic, where it was like essentially identical.
Mm-hmm.
And even so, like, oh my God, Ethereum, it's taking a shit right now. Look, I mean, it's literally flagging on resistance. It's not great. I wish it would hold this level, but you're starting to see a bid come in versus Bitcoin here. So you can see it right now. We were up at 3,200, and while Bitcoin was holding the lows. But you probably be able to see it right here. Yeah, you can see it start to take off. over the last little bit. And people are stepping in to defend it. So this was also part of another reason why I'm not particularly bearish, because I would just expect this to fall apart more, right? Like when it fell apart before, that's what it looked like. Okay. Right. 2017, 2018. And like shit got real crazy. And then bam, down. We're not even close to that right now. We're not even close. Not even.
Man.
I was going to pull up.
What a time to be alive.
Look at Adam really quick just for fun. I need to go to my actual. So I had like all of my charts, everything lined up as I wanted. I literally had like 15 tabs open. I was like, I'll just run through all this stuff, make up for lost time. And then I had to restart my computer and I lost all of them. Because I just did it in my program, in my hosted program on my computer versus like just the chat or the web browser. And that was just stupid. I should have just done it this way. So someone asked the question, why is Adam messing up right now? Well, I've had this drawn. In fact, I even sent this in the Stacked Labs chat. This is about the area where you might want to think about taking some off the board. Now, you guys probably noticed, I tweeted earlier today why you should not sell Adam. That's before you flip DOT. And I still believe that for what it's worth. But look at where we got and where we rejected like pretty hard today.
Yep.
Just like right into the Virgin Mid, right into the previous highs that Adam had against Ethereum back in like that September jump up. So it is not shocking to me that people decided to take profits to ETH, particularly when ETH was at support, right? Like there's two sides of that coin. It's not just necessarily that Adam was doing what Adam was doing, but also it was like, if this is a pretty good place, if you were going to sell and buy more Ethereum, where can I get money from? Oh, I've been printing on Adam. Let me take some off the board, right? But how has your experience been on Cosmos? Like obviously we had to onboard and get that all going, but like it's a little bit different than everything else, right?
Right. And like using a different wallet other than MetaMask, because it feels like with MetaMask you can pretty much do everything.
Yep.
But now I've like had to download Kepler and things like that. But honestly, it was once I got the hang of it, it was pretty easy. Sending money through KuCoin is super easy if you have a KuCoin, because then you can just send Atom itself. Nice. But yeah, I mean, there's always like a slight learning curve when you are trying to get onto another chain, but it doesn't last too long.
No. I was the same way, to be honest with you. It was like, what?
Anatoly replied and said, "Did it work?" ?
That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. And by the way, guys, for those of you keeping score at home, this little run while the rest of the market was shitting itself, 154% versus Ethereum.
Yeah, that's wild.
As much as I would love to say that we would just continue up only in this bitch and go challenge some of this stuff from like years ago, I don't think that that's necessarily going to happen. But what happens when you do this stuff? You consolidate, you move around, people continue onboarding. I think Adam is still grossly undervalued. I mean, it's nowhere close to where it should be. Not to mention the passive income from staking is insane.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Okay. Let's see here. FTM, is that what we said we were talking about?
Yeah, dude, FTMPA has actually been like super clean. I wish I had been trading it more.
I mean, why is it down? Where's the most history? Probably Binance, I guess.
I have it on FTX, and there's a fair amount. FTM perp. Not the U. Oh, the US. Yeah, there you go. But like the high at 0.96. If you zoom out a little,
yeah,
I think.
With you.
That perfectly retested.
Yep.
And then the high at 1.95 ish. like just the next high that it made. I don't know. It just seems like it's been some of the cleanest just SR flips over and over again.
It's surprising to me that we had this, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, no, we actually really like it," and then they just ripped it. You know?
FTM's main dex has 140 mil market cap, says John.
What's the main dex? Oh, Spooky Swap, yeah. Why the fuck? You know what? No, okay, this is starting to come back to me. I remember being initially shilled into this, and I was like, I'm sorry, what? The dex is called Spooky? The dex is called Spooky.
But it makes sense when the chain is Phantom.
Is it, though? I mean, so...
Maybe a little.
Well, I mean, it does. Don't get me wrong. It does, but is that really what we're going for?
I mean, we've named stuff after food and dogs, so...
But like, what's the last major thing that
had a silly name and did well?
Yep.
I mean, Trader Joe's kind of a runoff of the grocery store.
All right, Sushi Swap. I guess that's true. But you know what, Bobo? The Sushi Swap
I get
thing.
What you're saying,
when I remember Sushi Swap, that was during like the food craze, right? Where it was like yams and then all that other stuff. Yeah, pancakes.
Do we like care though? I mean, if it's a swap that works well, then it's like, oh.
I don't, but like, I don't know. It's hard for me to like. That's it, dude.
Right.
Let's pancake. Oh, I don't know.
Maple syrup.
Apple. Yeah, all right, fair enough.
I think Soul will look pretty trash if it doesn't bounce here after sweeping that low from October.
36. I'm telling you, dude. I think it's
125.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we'll go down there, and then once we flip this level again, then it could be once it like gets back above 135.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I would definitely buy. I mean, I might buy FTM in a bit if I see a good reason to, but I don't know. I'll have to look at Spooky. FTM doesn't look bad. What's the FTM ETH situation? It's got to be pretty good. KuCoin, probably. Yeah. There you go. That's why. Got your old double top.
Oh, wow. Yeah, maybe it's time Ethereum does something.
It's definitely time for Ethereum, dude. It's time for Ethereum to step up. Ethereum is literally retesting resistance that it broke out on ETH BTC. Okay, right here. And all the alt pairs are at highs where you would expect Ethereum to have a run. Now, as people oftentimes forget, this can happen just because one falls apart faster than the other. Okay, so this does not mean, oh shit, long Ethereum. Everything could just fall apart and Ethereum could fall apart less, and you would get Ethereum moving in advantage, right? Like that's that's how that stuff works.
If everything drops 30% and Ethereum drops 15.
All right, it's up 50%. So
daily close just now.
Yep. Looks like people are buying the open.
Yeah, I hope not too much because
you're not a fan of the open being pump, right?
I'm not. Well, I mean, like when it happens immediately, I'm like, oh geez, this is a liquidity grab.
Yep.
Like if everything's up just like 1 or 2% in the first half an hour, that's like an immediate close your longs or fade this type of thing for me.
Well, we're up like
right. I mean, but also it could just like stop here, go down, and then go. You know, like this isn't the end of the world. It's just, you know,
so
not my favorite.
It's no, I agree. Have you been following this?
Link, dude.
Yep.
Link's been going stupid.
So here's the USD pair. You're like, all right, that's not really shit. Like it's doing fine. It came off the lows really, really well.
It's going up, so that's a start.
Yeah, I mean, it's been the poverty chart for a long time. And then here it is versus Ethereum. And obviously, here's what I found nuts when I was looking at this earlier, preparing for stream. Look at this. Yeah, my head's kind of in the way. I'll do a weekly.
Yeah.
Make it easier. But I don't
No,
have my.
that's-
Come on.
I get the gist.
Yeah, but I don't.
That's,
It literally was a resistance to support retest, guys.
it just so happened it had to drop 90% to hit it.
It had to drop 90% to hit it. But at least when it got to that point where people were like, yeah, fair value now, they actually stepped in. So this is one reason why I'm starting to get pretty darn bullish on DeFi, okay? I hate that because Ethereum still sucks to actually do things on.
Curve wars.
Yep. And that's the thing that so much of this, I mean, look at that. A falling wedge to previous resistance turn support versus Ethereum.
That's crazy.
I mean, it was literally perfect.
Yeah.
Literally perfect. Just boop, right out of it, and here we go. So we're coming up against resistance here too. Obviously not ideal, but you're seeing a lot of this stuff right now just rip in the things that you would not have expected to be doing okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
AVAX actually looks better than I thought. Dude. I thought AVAX was absolutely destroyed. But versus Ethereum, it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks terrible versus USD. Versus Ethereum, it's pretty much held value the entire time. And same thing here. So somebody just asked what the plus EV play is. You know that I recently bought ALCX, Alchemix.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty bullish on Alchemix for a variety of reasons, but like their TVL is insane. It's like well over $1 billion. And God, look at that. Yep, ALCX. So you're starting to see these wedges. I forget who tweeted it. I don't think it was you, but it was like DeFi protocols with the most TVL or like most yield generated, and it was like Yearn, a couple others, and then Alchemix, and you're like, God, that makes a ton of sense. And so I think ALCX is primed for like a really, really big run, and I have it up here. You can see the volume coming in right here.
Yeah.
Essentially since these lows.
And it's still cheap.
It's still cheap. I remember this, don't you? When everybody was posting
1,000, yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, oh my God, thousands upon thousands.
I know. When you mentioned Alchemix to me, I was like, oh, haven't heard that in a while.
But it looks like it's primed. And then if you look at the versus Ethereum, I had to make the chart because I didn't see it naturally paired anywhere. But it's starting to make a run against Ethereum again. So
right.
There's so much upside on this. A little bit of a cup with handle, but it's kind of forcing it. Yeah, not really. If this breaks out of this line, which it rejected where it should have, it's essentially gonna double.
Yeah.
And the market cap's 300 million.
That's crazy.
300 million, that's it.
Yeah, no, that's wild.
So I own a decent amount of it. It's also paying a really nice yield. And the nice thing about it is, like, it'd be one thing to say, oh, I had bought it super low. I really didn't. I bought it like here, 278 to 288, so probably like 284 or so.
Yeah.
The yield for straight staking on Alchemix is like 35%. So it's fine. 35% on something that could quadruple, which I think is possible.
Yeah. If you're getting any yield on something you're very bullish on, like, it's just a bonus.
That's right.
Because most of those coins that pay insane yields are just going to nuke.
Right. Yeah, you don't want Wonderland. I mean, Time's been actually pretty good, but the Ohm.
Yeah, I mean, it just, they have, like, they don't have to go down right away or anything, but it just seems like they have a time bomb.
Right.
And eventually, it's kind of...
John goes, shout out GG.
Yeah, pretty much.
Save who to buy the new top.
But
Yeah.
it will be interesting to see like if the new sustained APY works for them. Like if they just chill around the same price and pay 20% a week and you just ride that for 2 months, like you probably like 5x.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact,
So-
I pulled up this to be able to do that.
Yeah, you got to do the Binance one now.
So bad. I lost like finally lost access to Chart, which I don't understand how it happened. But, they have much more reasonable APY, and I think people are starting to come back to it. There's people defending the lows, so
Uh-huh.
let's see.
Yeah, it kind of had that initial hype right at the beginning, like right when it got listed, but this 250 is kind of where it was consolidating when it was last on AVAX too, so I feel like this isn't that like
Yeah,
concerning that it's in this. But if it just chills between 200 and 300 in like a month, you're going to have a lot of profit,
absolutely.
even if you bought high when it was still on AVAX.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Like
the
it
great
just
thing
needs
about
to it just needs to survive and not nuke.
Right.
Like not go to $50 from here. And so
Oh, thank God.
it doesn't take much. The problem is like who knows with the current market conditions if people are going to want to put money in coins like that.
Yeah, it's weird because like what we just went through, I get the feeling like people are a little bit less interested in that now.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, look at Butterfly or Redacted. They're playing that game right now of the crazy APY, and it's
Is it really high?
It's like 32. Yeah. Oh, the APY. Yeah, it's insane.
I mean, is it like insane, or is it because I mean, for a while, like GG was paying like 60-70% a week or 5 days.
I believe right now it is every 5 days is 10%.
Okay, which I feel like isn't that correct. Like, sure, it's great. It's a phenomenal return. It's like 2% a day.
Yeah.
But I just mean like that's not like this can only last for another week and then it's nuking type of APY.
Right.
Dale, we were talking about Galaxy goggles, GG.
Yeah, GG on Binance Smart Chain.
Because they're paying like 22% 5-day APY. The runway is up to like 140 days and they have like 12 mil in the treasury now. So it's like their numbers look healthy. The coin has to just not nuke.
Right.
Because they have plenty of treasury to sustain it for a little while. So
The crazy APY seed was secured out of launch with, I don't even know how to read that expression.
3.24 times 10 to the 33rd power.
3.24 times 10 to the 33rd power. Like, yeah, certainly.
Basically, like add 33, move the decimal 33 spots to the right.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's probably
So yeah, that's
nothing.
a pretty thick APY.
Pretty sick. Hack on FTM looks good. We can pull it up. Dale, I just sent you a message on Telegram. If you're still listening. Snowdog. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That's a lot of zeros right there.
I've not spent much time here, but we can look spooky.
Let's see.
It's Boo, right? Just sticking with the ridiculousness.
I don't even know.
$24. What do you think? So you've seen this. There's been a pump in NFTs recently that I did not expect to have happen. But like, true enough, as soon as there was garbage in the marketplace, it was like NFTs, man. Do you think that continues?
Oh, that's a good question. I am personally pretty curious about that as well because I mean, NFTs were going crazy when Ethereum was like nuking in August, September, like when we pulled back from like 4K to 2.7.
Yeah.
Like NFTs were doing really well. So I just feel like there isn't that much data on how NFTs react in various market conditions.
Sure. if you guys heard that in the background, we are joined out of somewhere in Iowa. Crypto Dale. Dale, what's up, buddy?
Hey, yo, what's up?
What's good, Dale?
Cheese and rice and Jesus Christ. That's what we're thankful for.
What I'm curious, Dale, what are you into these days, man? You always are working on something crazy. I have to hear what you're into right now, man.
Well, you mean like as far as projects or?
Yeah, either
Right
working
now,
on projects, things you like. I mean, I know you and I have talked about a cash on Cosmos.
Yeah, so I'm pretty bullish on Akash and I mean Atom as most of the whole Cosmos ecosystem. You know, I'm pushing Pint, which is pub.finance, as you're aware.
I looked at that.
I don't know, just trying to survive this. I'm not as smart as you two guys, so I'm tearing off old countertops at my bar in the basement, and I just
You'd be
had your guys'
surprised. I am not that smart.
Please. So tearing countertops off at the bar in my basement, and I just had your stream up, and then Jared, I saw you said, "Hey, check your DM," and I'm like, I said to myself, if he invited me to come and talk, I'm gonna pause the countertops and go talk.
Nice.
There we go. Love to
Dale
hear it.
coming in, pausing the countertop. Dude, I feel like you've been working on your house for like 6 months. What's going on over there?
Dude, we bought the house in April. The main floor is pretty much done. I did a lot of it myself, and then the basement's pretty well done as well. Just getting new countertop, finishing the bar area. I'll send you pictures.
Nice.
Hang on one second.
awesome.
My wife's calling me.
Yeah.
I better mute and just hit the drill. A couple times.
Like you're working.
Dale's the funniest dude. I don't know if I've ever told this story before, but actually, I have I'm gonna do like my first follow back as like a tribute to people that have kind of helped me get in. And Dale was actually probably the biggest part that initially got me into he introduced me to his network when he didn't need to. So he kind of brought me in. Dale's super nice. I know you're in the Fantasy Football League. Have you guys ever interacted much or not really?
I mean, a little bit here and there, but not like a ton.
Not a ton. Good guy.
And I think we've followed each other on Twitter for like a long time, just because we've both been around.
Been grinding.
Right.
Yeah, dude. That's I'm pulling up a couple of things here to show, but how did you? I mean, your 2017 stories were absolutely nuts to me, Dale. And how did you get into crypto again and make it down that path and have that crazy 2017?
Yeah, I come from a background of traditional finance. I tried to buy Bitcoin back in 14. Full disclosure, I don't care. I worked at a bank, so not like an investment bank like the bankers we hate. I give loans to farmers.
Gotcha.
Is what I did.
Okay.
So I was at a bank, and in 2014, I read an article about Bitcoin on Yahoo News, and I was like, piss on it, I'll buy some. So I pulled it up, and then a customer walked in my office, and I couldn't figure out how to buy, and the customer didn't really want anything. They were just talking. So I was kind of standoffish, but then I thought I better give them the attention that they deserve. So I exited out of it, and then I just kind of never got back into it or never thought of it again until 2017.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so then a buddy messaged me in March, May of range of 2017. It was like, hey man, what do you know about Bitcoin? And I was like, nothing. I just read about it a long time ago, and I was gonna buy, but I didn't. Well, then I kind of started researching. I bought some Ethereum at, I think it was $100 or $200, and it instantly doubled, right? So here I am, just like everybody else, thinking I'm this ungodly trader for simply hitting the buy button. I'm like, this is too easy. This is so easy.
Go back to this. You said 2017. Here we go. Trying to pull it up. There it is.
Yeah.
100.
It's like 100, 200 bucks, something like that.
Amazing.
I bought a couple, and then it doubled, and I'm telling my wife, I'm like, we're gonna be so freaking rich off of this, right? And then I got into the market. Like the market does, it quickly humbles you. And I tried to trade altcoins. And how I did my research on this, and you guys, Kaz especially, you guys can give me the shit that I deserve for this. I would see people talking about it on Twitter. I'd pull up the chart. It'd be like that huge ETH candle at the end of December 17 right there. I'd be like, oh, this thing's going to $1 million. I'm buying.
This thing's ripping.
100%.
I would be the top buyer. And then, yeah, I lost I didn't lose it all, but I quickly got back to where I started, and I thought, okay, this probably isn't for me. And then I started just kind of reading and studying. I ended up buying a bunch of Lux Coin. It's kind of dead now, but I bought a bunch of it at 89 cents, and in that 18 bear run, it ended up trading up to like $44.
Wow.
So yeah, I was making a lot of money on that because I was staking, and then I proceeded to watch it fall, and I think I ended up getting completely out of it at $10, which is still really good. But then from there I just kind of grinded and got involved in some projects, built some relationships, started Crypto Street Pod.
Yeah.
So just kind of grinded through, and I haven't put any money into the market, any new fiat since I bought in, which is I'm kind of proud of. I mean,
that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
For the ups and downs, because if you think about it, like 2017. So let's say you bought about here, I'm assuming somewhere in these areas where you bought July, or it could have been May, and then it goes to 200, and you're like, oh my god, then it goes to 400, and you had this crazy run. I mean, it got pretty bad out here for a long time.
I'll be totally transparent because I don't care. I had my from like I probably had, I would say around $1,000 in is what I deposited, and I turned that into like $500,000.
Okay.
And then in 17, 18, and then I proceeded to watch it go down to like 10 to 15K.
Wow.
And I mean, I some of that watching it is because I took some out. Like I did take some profits out.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But yeah, proceeded to watch it do that, and then kind of my wife so my wife and I, we've been together since we're juniors in high school.
Wow.
So like I'm totally transparent with her with everything. Like we don't hide anything. So she's always knows what our portfolio is at. And she didn't say, she knew what it was. And I remember we were on a family trip in Florida, and it was like we were close to we were at all-time high, and I looked at her and I said, this is too fucking easy. We're going to be millionaires in a month. I should have known that
was the literal thought that topped the market was Dale on vacation in Florida.
It was literally the peak of the top.
So Kaz, I don't know, were you listening earlier when Kaz talked about 2017, Dale?
No, I jumped off there for a little bit and ate some dinner. So
okay.
It probably was during that.
And then you came back. But sorry, so Kaz, obviously Dale and I are about the same age. I know that. You're a little bit younger than us, but your 2017 experience, this is very fascinating to me. And I'm sorry for those if you were listening. They're like, why aren't you talking about the markets? But we did a bit of that, and I feel like this is kind of fun. So you got in. How did you get in initially again?
One of my buddies in college. Well, so I was doing this. I had heard about Bitcoin a bit before that. Looked into it briefly, didn't really get into it as much. And that was, I think, the summer of 2017.
Okay, so summer 2017, the highs were like $3,000.
But I didn't actually. So I didn't get into it very much back then. So I was doing this investment banking internship actually.
Okay.
Attaboy.
In Santa Monica, California, working 12-hour days and commuting like an hour and a half there because LA traffic sucks. So I was working like these 15-hour days, but like some days we were just like not busy at all, but I just like had to be in the office for 12 hours. And so I was like, and it was unpaid. So I was like, how can I like start making some money, like doing something else while I'm here because this is trash.
Sure.
And I like started looking into day trading. And then, I mean, kind of got busy with some other stuff, so really didn't like get into it hardcore. And I was like, I'm kind of busy for this right now, whatever. But then the next year, like, actually, it wasn't even the next year. It was like 6 months later. Basically, I first like bought Bitcoin in October or November of 2017, like when Bitcoin was at like 9K, 10K.
So it was after the BCH fork or snapshot, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So like like end of 2017 is when I got into crypto, because a buddy of mine in college was like, dude, I've been trading this coin Litecoin and I just use RSI divergences and it's the easiest thing ever. I was like, oh, that sounds kind of fun. Like, no joke, which is just hilarious, like looking back on it. And so
Yeah.
I get into this, I watch my money run up like 2, 3, 4x. I put in like 10, 15 grand. I was in college. It was like basically my stock investment money. I was like, I'm putting this in crypto because I'm like more interested in that. Watch it run up a little bit and then just got absolutely slaughtered when Bitcoin went from like 20K to 6K, buying dips and then selling it once it dipped further, and then buying the next dip and selling it once it dipped further. And that like 15K turned into like 2K. And I was like, okay, I need to, I want to figure this out. Like, I'm not going to accept defeat on this. Like, I want to learn about this so I can bounce back from it and do better. And so then just like studied trading a ton, like paper traded for a while, then traded like risking $20 a trade just so I was like actually doing something, and have built things back up since then. And that was just like Dale. That was my only deposit in crypto.
All right, so this is pretty crazy. You guys getting into this, first off, stories are fairly similar. You know, your experiences are off the bat fairly similar, which is pretty nuts.
Put money in, get shafted, learn, and do well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And there's a couple of similarities here that I'll pull back just because I know all of our stories, and you've all talked about it too, so it wouldn't be like doxing anything about you guys. But you know how you got in and like your experiences and learning from that, pretty wild. I think I told you guys before, like, you know, my background is I know Joel Birch, and he worked for me in like 2011, 12, 13, and was actually on my sales team. I was his sales manager, and I was like, he and I were always like super close. We weren't that far apart in age, and I was like, you know, like smart dude. He was crushing it on my team. So we kept in touch after he left to go to Grubhub, and he ended up like reaching back out to me and was like, yo, you should buy Bitcoin in like 2014. And I was like, fuck your internet money, bro. I trade stocks. Like literally 2014. I was like, get fucked. Like, no way would I do that. That's stupid. Like, I'm learning how to trade real stocks. I started trading like 12 years ago, 2010. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, right, man. Like, I trade real things, not your stupid ass internet money. And it was later on that he was like, dude, just come on, give it a go. And I did. But the most interesting part for me is that I actually got in October of 2019. Okay, so let's go here. October of 2019. Here we go. So I get in October of 2019, trading GainseyBot on Stacked, because I was like, sure, I'm gonna do my real thing in the standard market, but I'll get some exposure via Stacked on GainseyBot. So, you know, pay for GainseyBot, whatever. And it has like a great go of it, where like it's just like kind of making some money. I put in $5,000, okay, $5,000, and like GainseyBot actually did pretty well in October, November, December, and I was like, oh shit, this is pretty good. I'm getting on. I'm messing around with BitMEX. I think that's when I started talking to some of you guys a little bit, like Dale. You and I probably connected around then, and this dump like essentially took me down to like almost nothing because GainseyBot was out of position initially. And then I closed it manually and it went short because I was like, all right, this is bullshit. This is going to stop here. And then the cascade happened. So GainseyBot actually caught one and I manually closed the position. So I literally like sold, didn't allow it to go short, or I like covered whatever it was. Yeah. And then it just kept going. And I was like, fuck me. So I turned it back on, didn't think about it. I probably had less than what I started with, maybe like $3,200 left after that dump was done. And in the months of March and April, GainseyBot printed me. It went from $5,000 to like $77,000.
Wow.
Shout out GainseyBot.
Yep, $5,000 to
About that, man.
$77,000 on GainseyBot. And so I'm literally messaging Gainsey at that point to be like, "Yo, this shit's amazing. What's going on?" And he
And
was
he's
like,
I don't know.
he's like, bro, it
Yeah,
took-
he's like, I don't know, plug.
GainseyBot's
Get out of my
on
DMs, you poor.
No, dude.
Yeah.
So that's the funny thing about Gainsey. Gainsey's the fucking nicest dude in the world, man.
Dude, he really is.
He's
He is.
so fucking nice. Now he's too big. Like people blow him up too much. Like even back then he had a big account, but it wasn't that big. And like was like, yeah, man, I don't know. Like I told my new Joel and Stat Guys too, so he's probably nicer to me than maybe he otherwise would have. But like literally was like, yeah, it's a trend bot. He started like showing me the ropes on the different exchanges, which is nuts. Like he went out of his way so far beyond what he needed to do to like talk about BitMEX and like different things that go up, and kind of introduced me to Cuban and some of those guys and like who to pay attention to, who's full of shit, which is very interesting. And then the first person to shill me an alt, you know who that was?
I know.
Kobe.
Nope. No, he's on this call right now.
It was me.
It was Dale, man. It was Dale. Dale was like, yo, you should buy some lid. And I was like, what the fuck is lid? And he's like, I don't know.
Well, let's back up. Let's back up.
Yeah.
I want to tell the story of how I came across you.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Bit
All right.
boy.
Yeah.
So
it was not Bit
I was
Boy.
like, it was not BitBoy. Have I told you guys that my story about BitBoy?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. That'll be after this.
Okay.
So I was like, cause as I'm sure you know, I'm not by any stretch of the imagination. Do I? And Jared, you definitely know this. Do I pretend that I'm this TA expert? Like I basically my strategy is buy and buy, right? Like if I see a project I like that's legit, I'll just buy it and hang on to it.
I think that is a much better strategy than
Then
trying to
you
leverage
outperform a
trades.
lot of us a lot of the times, Dale. But still, go on.
I do what? What'd you say?
You outperform us with that a lot of times. So
Well, see, then when I think, oh, I'm gonna start leverage trading, or start to try to be a day trader, I just get bodied. So I've totally given it up. I know I'm not good at it, and I'm okay with that. So anyway, so I was like wanting to get better at TA. So I put out a tweet and I just said, who should someone that's good with TA DM me? I want to learn. And Jared DM'd me and was just like. And I think at the time he had a Michigan profile picture. And I think we'd kind of like given each other shit back and forth because, I'm an Iowa boy. And he's Michigan. And so I was like, oh yeah, I remember this dude. And then like I started looking at it and I think I sent it to Ledger because Ledger and I are big buds. And I sent it to him and I'm like, what do you think of this? He's like, it's actually, no offense, Jared. He's like, it's actually pretty good. So I'm like, all right, this dude does know what he's talking about. I'm not sure know if he does or not.
I didn't know you vetted me, but that's cool. Good to know.
And then I saw you follow Birch, and I think I messaged Birch, and he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, he's legit."
Nice.
So
nice.
So that's how I came across you.
Yeah, I remember that too. We probably go back and find that DM because I don't think you can delete anything, or at least I didn't delete.
Jared,
yeah.
Jared being a Michigan fan is part of why we're so close.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah,
That's 100% true.
Too. I thought that connection through.
Yeah. So yeah, literally, and this is like my last little bit on this story, which by the way we've actually picked up viewers since we've just been telling origin stories, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, dude, it looks stuff's starting to look okay.
It's looking okay.
Dude, Adam is up.
I know.
Oh, it was 3 for a second.
It was.
Yeah.
Dude,
it was.
AVAX is bouncing too.
AVAX actually, I was just looking at it versus Ethereum, and I think AVAX is actually, I might put more money in AVAX even though I said I wasn't. But anyway, hold on, real quick.
Oh god, that makes me feel so good because I have a big bag of AVAX.
All right, good. So you shilled me Lid, okay, and you're like, yo, you should buy Lid. And I don't remember, how did you learn about Lid? Did you just know those guys that were putting it on? I've since learned more about Lid since it happened. But like, where did you learn about Lid?
So honest to God, like people, like my little brothers and friends are always like, where do you hear about these projects? And I'm like, look, so I'm gonna get off the beaten track here. And if anyone's new and listening, this is some advice. So when I first started, I was like a month in and I saw Jabus was on a bender, right? So back then he doesn't do it as much anymore, but back then maybe once a month, once every couple of weeks, he would just get absolutely shit-faced.
Okay.
And he he would like just, you could tell, tweet storm. So I finally just messaged him one time and I'm like, hey, I'm new. Here's what I'm, my blah, blah, blah. And I just like gave him a background and I said, I'm not asking for handouts. Like I don't want you to send me money. I just want your best advice to someone new. And he said 3 words: build a network.
Yeah, dude.
So that's my advice to anyone that's new.
I agree.
The space is so big, you can't always find what's coming up or what's going on. You might, and even then, if you do, it's good to have buddies to vet it and bounce it off. So anyways,
definitely.
in one of my groups, someone, I don't even know who it was, someone said, buy lid, here it is. I trusted them enough. So then I thought, I'm a try and sell Jared on this.
Yeah, which was wild. Go ahead, guys.
I was just gonna say, and that whole thing about building a network, I completely agree, and I think that's one of the a lot of people don't like NFTs. I get it, but I think some of the it's a instant way to get community almost.
That's true.
If you join some project that has 1,000 supply or something like that, and there's 100 dudes or whatever who are always active, and then some guys who aren't always aren't quite as active as them, but then you're in that Discord every day just starting to get to know people, and I feel like that is a lot easier than just replying to people's tweets. Even if you're being friendly or whatever,
for sure,
it's
for sure.
I don't know, it kind of puts you in a position to meet it's honestly like joining a frat, to be honest.
It 100%.
Or a sports team, it's just it's, you buy this NFT and then you have a community, and who knows who you're gonna meet in there, and things like that.
That's a super good point. So literally, just back to that really quick to put a bow on this. Dale shills me lid, and I'm like, all right, fuck, I'm gonna go buy this thing. Me trying to figure out how to buy lid when you have never transacted on chain is absolutely hysterical. Because I was like, all right, how do I do this? And believe it or not, I was like, I need to find a way to do it. The person who walked me through buying it, Gainsey. Okay.
Yep.
Gainsey was like, yo, man, here's what you do. Go to my Ethernet wallet, get this, and this. You got to go that, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wait, fucking what? You got to do what? And my man, and again, this is why I will, to the day I die, be like, yo, Gainsey's a fucking great person, and I'll fight anybody who says otherwise. Because he literally could have been like, dude, just fuck off, okay? Fuck you.
Right.
I don't owe you shit. You don't have to do anything. And he literally, along with Dale and some other people, changed the trajectory of my life by taking 20 minutes out of his day to be like, yo, this is how you do this. Let me help you out. And then he also shilled me into some other alts, which I made some money on. So my long story short is that 5,000 I put in, I have never put in more than that initial 5,000 either.
Attaboy.
And it was Gainsey bot and then alts. And it was literally just catching a heater and building network. And so we all kind of have the same thing. Kaz, I think you're the best networker on crypto Twitter.
I appreciate that.
You're literally in every group. It's unbelievable. Dale's
Discord can be very overwhelming sometimes.
I imagine.
Yes.
I imagine. And the thing is, Dale's not far behind you. Dale's right there. So you two are probably the best networks on Twitter and crypto Twitter, in my opinion, for people who aren't assholes. I'll qualify. I've talked to a lot of people who are well connected that are assholes. You guys aren't them. Okay. That's legit 2 of the nicest dudes that there is, and have built incredible networks and obviously gotten better for it, which is really, really wild. And then anecdotally, I would just like to point out, all 3 of us got married super, super young.
Hell yeah.
Super young. Obviously, you've known your wife forever. I don't know when you got married, Dale, but you've for all intents and purposes been married since you were a junior in high school. And then I got married 6 months out of college, and I don't think you were that far behind me, right? Or were you about the same thing, Kaz?
I met my wife my sophomore year of college, and we got married 3 years later, when I was a year out of college, a year after I graduated.
Pretty similar.
When I was 23.
Nice. Yeah. So I was 23 as well. And it's just I don't know if it's a level of maturity or I'm just going to grind it. I want to start my life, or you do this thing different, because I think when you start to taste oh my God, what this can be, it's totally worth it. And by the way, Dacomo came in and said great advice when you were talking about building a network. And Dacomo is friends with Highlander, Highlander being our validator.
Shout out Highlander Nodes.
Shout out Highlander Nodes on Cosmos. And that would be the reason why I am in Cosmos, and really shilled both of you like hell to get into it. Okay.
Yep.
Dude, you told me about what a full circle it's come. You know, I showed you lid, and you told me. I think you even DM'd me and was like, or maybe it was in GDT. I don't know, but you're like, buy Adam, and I didn't even fucking question it. I just sent money. I sent money immediately to Coinbase because I was like, I don't have time to piss around and figure out how to buy this on the Osmosis system or wherever ecosystem.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm buying it on Coinbase. And then Jared was like, did you buy it? I'm like, yeah, dude. And I told you how much I bought. And you're like, fucking all right.
Yeah, dude. Like
So,
high
here
conviction
we are.
play. Absolutely.
That
And-
was me with Juno. I didn't even know what it did. It took
I
a
know,
couple
I'm
times of
pissed
him
about
telling me to, but
yeah, for real. For real. But, like,
And
it's so nice, dude.
What-
Like, but just real quick, and then Dale, you can pop in. Like, Highlander I don't even know how Highlander ended up in Stack Labs. I know there was some connection somewhere, and he ended up, and he was like, "Yo, I'm becoming a validator." He was not a node validator yet when he was first in Stack Labs, and then he got up and running, and he's like, "I've been working on this for a couple years here." These guys. He called me once while I was on the golf course. We did a FaceTime call. I was like, "It's the only window I got." I was literally between shots at the country club, and he was like, "Yo, this is why you should take a look at this," and he sold me on it. And that was me getting into Adam and Cosmos, which is nuts. Now, it still took me a while to get in because had I listened to him initially, my entry would have been like $7, $8. But it took me a little while. But like that's how this stuff happens. Like all network led to that, and then me being like, "Yo, guys, you should check this out." So the reason why I like Stack Labs is like you guys are both in there and participate. Like people come in and they add their 2 cents, which I don't want it ever to be a place where it's like, "Fuck you, new guy, shut up." Like those people are probably working as hard or harder than any of us to try to find that new thing. You know what I mean?
right.
totally. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think that's the coolest thing, you know, is seeing. And real quick before I say that, but like you reaching out to Gainsey, and some people think all these like the successful traders, not like myself, are a bunch of assholes. But I think what people don't realize is we get hit up, and when I say we, I'm just saying that because I've been around. I'm not saying I'm a successful trader, but we get hit up all the time for people that want handouts and say, look, you know, my dog has to have surgery. Can you send me 10K?
Yeah, right.
Like we get hit up that stuff all the time. So if like people, you know, if someone sends me a DM and they have a legit question, and you know it's clear to me that they've tried to figure it out themselves and can't,
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm 99% of the time I'm gonna help
helping.
them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's, you know, if you've shown some effort and aren't after a handout, I think a lot of people on crypto Twitter would help too. I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah.
If you're genuine and you show proof that you've tried, they're gonna help you all the time. Because
Yeah.
like we're all community. We were all there once.
Yeah.
But I still message people, you know, hey Ledger, what do I do on this? Or
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
shit.
Speaking of handouts, I had a funny DM the other day. This guy was like, "Yo, Kaz, want to pay off my university debt? I'm studying in the Netherlands and it's like 2K a year." And I'm like, "Bro, my school costs like 50K a year. You pay
Yeah.
mine."
Yeah. No,
Oh, shit.
I do not. Isn't that so funny? That like that sense of entitlement. You see it all the time, and like I saw Gain. So again, I feel like this has become like the me fucking being like Gaines. He's a great person. I felt
Yes,
more.
that's okay.
I mean, he is, and I felt more inclined to defend him more when he had like that rap for just like going off and like ripping on people all the time, which he did, and it was hysterical. But now he's like so unbelievably retired. I just think he's a lot in like a better place. So you don't see him just lay into people. He's got better stuff to do. It's like just be in Miami. But I used to like jump in to defend him a lot. But like he got hit the other day for like $5,000 or $8,000 or something like that for somebody who like gave a sob story, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, I got you," and he literally did it. You know, like that's fucking crazy. Now it's terrible because people will hit him up more because of that, and like somebody who actually needs it won't get it. But like the fact that he was willing to do that, like that's nuts. That's nuts to me. And like who does that?
The coolest one that I've gotten is someone was like their apartment got, and I made them send proof. Their apartment got condemned for some reason, and they were studying in New York at some university. I don't know. And they like were gonna basically be homeless, and and they only wanted like $2,000. So I sent them the $2,000, and then they like they'll periodically check in with me now, and they don't ever ask for more money, but like I paid their deposit in the first month rent, and I'm not trying to like
Yeah.
gloat or anything.
No,
but
dude, that's
so,
super nice.
So there are cool
Oh.
things, and I always think when you're in a position, you know, where things are fine in your life, and someone comes along and needs help, and you can better their life, I would, you know,
Right.
if everything's Gucci in my life, I'm going to do it all the time because it's
Right.
such a
It definitely,
humane
no,
thing to do.
it definitely feels good to help people out when they have situations like that. It's just so hard to tell. Like
It
so
is.
hard.
It's
when they
so
DM
hard.
you sometimes.
I'm such a cynic too. Just like my natural disposition to be like, you're fucking scamming, bro. And like a lot of times
Yeah.
you're not, or people aren't. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't really trust you. I feel like I could find my way out of that situation. But yeah, that's super nice. And like, look, we're all, you guys both know my situation. I got hacked and lost pretty much everything I had in crypto. At one point I had taken out a lot, which was nice for me. But like some boys came in, and some of my boys came in that I met. None of them who I've ever met in person, none of them who I've even spoken to, were like, yo, I got you. I'll send you 20 grand. And I was like, what? Like, pay me back when you can. Cool. Literally without even thinking about it. These are people that I met on the internet. But it's been like, we're brothers for a year and a half grinding. And they're like, yo, man, if that was me, I know you'd help me out. And since then, guess what? I have some buddies who got hacked, got a guy who got whatever. And it's like, absolutely, I'll ship you some money. But like,
You
that's
took
totally
the money
different
and
deal.
you cranked up the leverage to 100x.
Pretty much, bro.
Full
Made
send.
it back in one trade.
Just
That's
full
right.
send. Nah, dude, that was like, dude, the psychology in this game is so nuts. Like, I literally, I was on the phone today with the FBI. Still trying to hunt down my money, and they're like, yeah, we don't. It's gone.
Yeah.
Like, thanks, man. Cool.
It's that network, right? Like
Yeah.
what we talked about. That's
Yeah.
I mean, you lean on those people.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck hunting down money in crypto. Hey, man, I had to try. By the way, you have to have the police report for me to write it off of my taxes. So that's why I did it. It's not that I was necessarily like, yeah, let's see if the FBI can get this back. But I'm going to write off. You can write it off as a loss if you can prove that it happened. So I went after it. But, you know, there's always a hope. They're like, oh, I sent it through Binance. And they're like, haha, and just grab the money.
Idiot. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
In fact, somebody the other day, like a big account was like, yo, my money's sitting right here. Why don't you release it? I think, who was that? That was a big Twitter account.
I don't remember.
I don't know either.
I'll try to find it, but it wasn't that long ago where it actually happened. It's pretty, no, true enough. All right, so we got this little pump here. We're going into the weekend. I don't know. Dale, you're more connected to like anybody that's been around from like an OG perspective. Like, what do you think? We have enough weekend? Let's get some predictions here.
Hold on, real quick. Does Google Meet work on my phone?
Should.
Probably. Okay, I'm gonna sign off quick and then hop on my phone. Like it's gonna get dark in like 30 minutes, so I'm gonna walk
Take
with
out
Zeus,
Zeus?
but
Yeah,
I
for
can
sure.
I can talk on the phone while I'm with him. So
Sure.
Dude, my
Oh.
first dog ever was Zeus.
let's.
Wow.
So is mine.
Team
For real.
Zeus.
Now
I
I've
love
got
that.
a fucking mutt named Chester.
That's great. Yeah, Zeus he's huge. He's 120 pounds.
That's
That's a
underweight though,
fitting
isn't
name.
it?
What'd you say?
Isn't he
Drew?
underweight?
Yeah, by like 10 pounds ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll
right.
be back in the chat in
Yeah.
like a minute.
So
Yeah,
I
hit
guess
me
my
up.
thoughts here. You know, I mean, it's so hard because like listening to Ledger Cast earlier, like Carpe Noctem, Josh Olszewicz or whatever. Like he brought up a good point, and like I try and formulate my own thoughts, and I talk to people like you and Ledger and Sicarius and Messiah and other people, and just kind of like pick their brains a little because you guys are way smarter than I am. But like I could see, and Jared, I think we talked earlier today actually, or yesterday.
Yeah.
I totally kind of agree with your thoughts. Like there's two things here. I definitely think we're heading towards a bear market. However, I want to note, if you look at some of the DeFi stuff from last summer or whenever that was, that's been in a bear market since then.
Yeah, you're right.
And we've
Right.
been rocking, a lot of people have been rocking in the AVAX system, which I personally, the only thing I hold right now in AVAX is AVAX.
Yep.
So I personally think I might catch some flack for this because little free alpha here. I'm
Oh.
I'll say it. I think you know it, but anyways, I personally think that I do think AVAX is here to stay. I just think that there's been so many scams, and it was a lot harder to start to make money on that. I think it's going to chill for a while.
Okay.
So I'm extremely bullish on, you know, the Cosmos ecosystem.
Sure.
I think that's where the next play. I think, you know, it was, you saw the NFT run, you saw DeFi Summer,
Yeah.
Then you saw Avalanche, and I think we're going to do that. And I think everything else, you're going to have these isolated pumps, I think, throughout the market, which you kind of had in the 18-19 bear market. Anyways, you'd see something pump and you'd be like, why the hell is it pumping? Wow.
Would they really?
Bitcoin's, yeah, a little bit. Like, it wouldn't be mega pumps. I mean, but
you can make money on it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And so I think that's kind of where we're heading. I think my original thought was we'd see a Bitcoin blow off the top end of the year. Then ETH all-time high, alt season, you know, February to March, and then NFTs would shine after that, and then we'd be full-fledged bear. But
sure,
you know, I think the key to being, as you could probably attest, to being a good trader or in the space is being able to adapt. Right?
No doubt. Yeah.
So I don't know. I just have a hard time believing that we will not see a Bitcoin blow off the top.
Yeah, like a true blow
like
off.
I just have, yeah, not like, you know, not like we saw, because the thing with the last time we hit 69K, which of fucking course we did.
Yeah,
why wouldn't we? For be the all-time high.
Why we didn't just have resting sell orders at 69K, I don't really know.
I know.
Yeah.
But like, we would break all-time high, and when you saw us run up to 20K in 17, like, we got there and we got there fast. I felt like this run up to 69K, it definitely wasn't as fast as back in 17, and it would like, just like, you know, we would go all-time high, and we wouldn't really break it with haste. We would just kind of get there, we dip a little, then we'd get to the next all-time high just barely. So, you know, I still just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not 100% set in stone what we're gonna do. I think like Josh said today, you know, if we're north of 50K, that's I'm more bullish than I am if we're south of it.
Sure.
I think this Head and Shoulders, I was listening to that earlier. That is a little concerning to me, but like that flip support area you have, like if we can hold that,
yep,
we might be okay.
Yeah, I agree. Kaz and Windstorm.
I'm back.
Yeah, welcome.
Is it really that loud?
No, it's just initially.
That car pass.
It's fine.
I'll mute my mic when I'm not talking.
Yeah,
but I'm back.
Yeah, no worries. So Dale was saying that, like, logically he was expecting a blow off, didn't happen, and you know, this area holds, kind of moves sideways for a while, and we get it move up, but the move also could come super quick because that's what happened in the past, which I don't disagree with, and particularly when, if you looked at the VPVR that I put on earlier, like, these zones don't have a ton of resting, like, liquidity anywhere in there. And so, like, for us to get right back to 46K could happen, you know, in a day. And then after 50 to 55, it's moving in a day. Like, it could happen very easily. So whether or not that's it, I don't really know. What I will say is that if this bull div plays out, which if we get a good couple of days this weekend, it could. I feel decently confident saying the bottom's in, and it's not going to be easy. Like, when I initially was looking at prepping for this stream, which kind of got away from me because my son was having a meltdown, and like I said, I've been off.
I can't believe you prep for streams. I should start doing that.
I mean, I generally don't a ton, but
no wonder yours always have better content than mine. I just jump into it. I'm like, all right, so what should I?
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
Say this stream and
yeah,
start looking at charts. Oh yeah, that actually
that looks decent.
Good.
Yeah. So like, if we actually see this turn up, it could be pretty nuts. And like, there's a bunch of like little levels along the way. Like, there's a DTL here from like that Christmas high to now. Okay. For us to break that in the next day would be like 45. If we go a little bit further, like, that's something I'm going to watch. Can we get back over 45? That's something I'm going to watch. what's the shape of the 50 day? Is it starting to level out? Because I'll be honest with you, the shape of this as it is, look at this shit. I know you can't see it, Kaz, because you're walking, but the slope of the 50 day is pretty far down right now. If you saw here for the last bottom, it kind of flattened out. But we need some up days back to like a lower, a previous higher low, or lower high rather, to then come back down for that to flatten out. So like, those are the things that I'm really looking for. And if it starts to happen, I see no reason why we can't have some crazy shit go on. But yeah, like if we lose this level, it's not a good deal. We're probably going to go to 30. But this weekend, I think we get a nice weekend. I really
I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pumping now. And
Yep.
if you notice too, like a lot of it was so crazy because there for a while, like we'd pump all week and then we'd dump to shit on the weekend.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it flipped.
Yep.
And like as soon as Legacy closed, we start pumping.
Yeah.
That's how it kind of seems as of late. I don't know. I
I
think the smart thing to do right now, and I think this is probably for most people, maybe not for Kaz and Jared, but like you don't always have to time the bottom.
No.
Like
usually it doesn't even happen that quickly. Like
No.
usually you have time.
Yeah.
Just like when we were
Exactly.
consolidating at 30K for weeks. Like on the day of the nuke or whatever, you don't need to just jump into it or you're gonna miss everything.
Yeah.
Totally.
I agree entirely. By the way, Kaz, since you're here,
Yeah,
I mean, so Dale thing's up this weekend. You think we just kind of get some liquidity games? What do you think happens?
Sorry, someone was
I was gonna
wanting to
say,
pet Zeus.
are you fighting somebody right now? Like that's what.
Hey guys, don't you know I'm busy?
Yeah, I'm gonna stream right now.
Don't you know I'm on a stream? Like, have some
Do you
respect.
not know who I am?
Yeah. Put some respect on my
How many
name.
followers? But no, yeah, I kind of think we do get a little bit of relief here. Like I posted that Ethereum chart not too long ago about how like this gray area that we're kind of in right now, which was, I mean, I know you were pointing out that same spot earlier too, Jared. Like
Yeah.
the last little consolidation before we ripped up.
Yep.
So I'm kind of thinking like we're not going down in a straight line this whole time. Even if we do have more downside, like we will have some bounces in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree.
So I kind of do agree with you guys that it would make sense to get a little relief this weekend. And then we'll see like where that takes us. I think a lot of people would like, I think it makes sense to bounce to like 48. I don't know if that happens all right now or if we like
Dude.
poke
We-
down
if
before
we-
that. Zeus, relax. Holy cow.
Dude, he wants
Or
to
is
get
that-
out, man. The sun is setting. He needs to do his thing.
My guy is, when a dog weighs 120 pounds, their poop's
You gotta-
like 2 pounds.
You gotta have like the thing that I like makes me a little bullish, and it kind of seems how it's played out is every time people on crypto Twitter want the same thing or think the same thing, it never happens.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh, yeah.
So I see everybody saying just nuke already.
Big
and
time
get it
rip right
over
now.
with.
Big time rip
Yeah.
right now.
So like that
Big
makes
time rip right now.
that's like to me, I'm always like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, to me, it's going, isn't it?
it is.
So to me, that always kind of is like, okay, are we really gonna get that then or not?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And like, I know we kind of have already gotten more of a like before this dump. Even I was like, all right, everyone thinks like we're going to Goblin Town, but I mean,
Yeah.
we're only at 40K right now.
I know.
It's not too bad.
It's unbelievable.
Right. But I mean, maybe this is just like me wanting this to happen, but I kind of wonder like how many people are going to be calling for the next bull run if we get back above 50 or like mid 50s
Yeah.
or even like 60K, like big picture, not obviously like this month. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, but like that could just be a lower high at 60K.
Yeah.
And I feel like people would get absolutely destroyed if
Yep.
we have a move up to 60K and then go down to like 30. Like, could you imagine the carnage? Imagine the smell.
Yeah, dude. That was like,
that would be.
there was that I had a video that went like, it was reshared a lot in Stacked Labs, but I was talking about if we had some crazy games down here where they go back up, get everybody fumbling back in, and just rip it. Like, essentially, if we had gone to here, this 52, which I know you can't see it right now, but off the bottoms from 28, like go to 52, everybody's thinking that we're going to new highs, and then it just absolutely bottom drops out to 20 grand. It would have been like the biggest like dick move ever. Essentially, you go to 65, down to 28, up to 52. People think it's game on again, and then you literally just drop it back out, back to $20,000. Like, I think people would have just walked away. It would have been such a dirty way to do this that a lot of people would have just quit the market.
Right.
And so I feel like we kind of need some of those games where you're like, all right, go back up to 46, back down to 40. Oh my God, here it is, guys. We're going to 30. Everybody gets leaning one way again, and then boom, here's the rip where we take out 46.
And then we make like a near equal low or whatever, and then go up to like 50.
Absolutely. And people are like, son of a bitch. Like, that was it. Like, I was too busy being like, what did Pentoshi say? Oh, to actually think for myself. And go there, So, by the way, I'm really liking what I'm seeing right now for the weekend. Like, really liking.
Yeah, it looks solid, and I mean, I know, like, it's been the talk of the town because Arthur wrote that article.
Yeah.
But like, everyone's talking about, well, these interest rates, the inflation, blah blah, like all that stuff. But it's like, all right, that's not going to resolve overnight. Like, that doesn't mean crypto doesn't bounce for 2 months.
No doubt.
Before equities and everything else drops hard.
Yeah. And like, I have my stocks, my stock group that I still talk to every day. Okay. So I have another chat room open that are mega money managers for equities. And I just pop in, they know me in there. I give them advice on crypto. They give me standard market stuff. We're at some pretty key levels right now on QQQ. I mean, look at this. Look at this shit. Like, you telling me that nobody's going to try to defend this level, this triple bottom?
Right.
Like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it might break down. No joke. Plain. It might, but this is a previous resistance. Flip to support triple bottom. Like, yo, that's a pretty big deal. While this thing works itself out. The other thing, and I think I've said this to both of you privately, and I think I've even said it in Stacked Labs, but I'll say it again here. I find it very hard to believe that the politics of this country will not get involved. Okay? If we go through this year, midterms are in November, and the stock market shits itself between now and November,
game over.
Like, the Democrats are going to lose the House, the Senate by a landslide, and Smoking Joe's going to have 2 years of hanging out doing nothing until they can probably get waxed in the next election. And I say that thinking it's not going to happen. Okay? Like, you cannot. When's the last time you would see a flip in political power like that in the midterms? It's never happened. Right? So there's part of me that says, logically, are they really going to destroy everything where it's like, oh my God, let's give it all back to the Republicans after we worked so hard to oust Trump? That would be nuts to me. Like,
yeah, I think they've got too much to lose. I think I 100% agree with you. If we head into midterms and the stock market's total shit, they're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be messy.
Yeah. DGen Fido says the counterpoint for that midterm is that there's capacity to watch a 10 to 20% drop in the indices if Dems can claim victory over inflation. You're right. There's a narrative there, and I don't disagree with you because, look, I actually appreciate what they're trying to do with the Fed, even though it's screwing over crypto, because drastic action needs to be taken for inflation to not go out of hand. Okay, it's already bad. Like the M2 velocity, like the shit is crazy, right now, and something needs to be done. So they're trying to be aggressive to ward off inflation because we're already seeing it and it's not even bad yet. Right? So I appreciate what they're trying to do, but yo, like people vote with their pocketbooks. We've been at home for 2 years now because of COVID. So give us at home for 2 years. Schools are messed up. Sports have been messed up. And then your 401k that was still making you feel good, just knock 35% off of that too.
Yeah, that would be bad. But I mean, I feel like the question then becomes like, I mean, we all know inflation is super out of hand, but then like when does that get addressed? I mean, they could keep putting it off for a while, and maybe that'll be good for us short term, like more fun in crypto for a couple years before the equity market goes down the hole for a while. But I don't know.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you entirely on that. So.
And sorry if I'm a little out of breath. Zeus really likes to run.
Yeah, dude. Let the boy off the leash, bro.
Too, man. I'd be huffing.
No, he's gonna run away.
Do you have a dog park or like a
he was-
field or anything nearby?
Yeah, I could walk to some stuff, but like, I don't know.
Hey, do either of you
Because
guys
he was
use-
like living on his own for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if he gets a chance to like run free, then
He's gonna do it.
he might try and do that.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. We've had him for like 3 weeks now or something like that. So
For sure.
we do have him chipped.
Do you guys
though,
use
so.
TrendSpider?
I don't. Who was telling me about
I've used it
TrendSpider?
a little bit, but
Ledger.
probably wasn't me.
Ledger was okay.
I've used it a little bit, but it's not like one thing that I pull up every single time I open my computer or anything.
Yeah, I don't either. The thing I guess I like about it is it throws the fib up already, and I'm, again, not a great TA expert.
Yeah. By the way,
You keep saying that, but
But by the way,
I think you are.
I longed this earlier. I think I told one of you guys this, or I told somebody this. But there was like this nice div down here, which is my thing. Like I like to play these divs at key levels. You gotta wait for it, but it works out. And literally like a glove, just perfect reversal signal. I think my average long is like 31.18 maybe, somewhere in there. So I am like, let's go Friday night, make it all back in one trade, boys. No leverage because I wasn't feeling that confident. But if we get through this little high, it looks good.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad right now.
Okay.
Soul back above 140. Hopefully the network starts working.
Who do you know at Solana, Dale? Jesus Christ. Can we get them to fix it?
Oh, dude, I've got a story about Solana that I know people, but I'm not on good terms.
Okay. All right. Well, that's
Maybe
I'll
once
tell
the
you.
stream
I'll tell you.
ends. Once the stream ends, or
yeah.
So I got offered a job with them
Okay.
for community manager back when Solana was $12.
Oh my God.
And like it verbally offered, verbally accepted. They're like, okay, we're gonna type and send it to you. And then the next day they're like, hey, someone on the team did like a recap of your Twitter and they don't like some of the things they're seeing. So they're gonna
That's
have
so
to
stupid.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
they're like we're gonna have to get someone to sign off on it, and then they like never got back to me. So, but then what's funny about it, right, is what's his name on the profile? Like told
Anatoly?
someone he was gonna or I don't remember. I think it was the other one. Told someone they're gonna kill him, and then he got banned from Twitter. I'm like, so you didn't like the fact that I called someone a wet pigeon, but then one of your co-founders was out there telling someone they're gonna kill him. Interesting.
oh my God, dude, what?
So I have a little.
That's crazy.
Dude, that's short Solana.
Dang.
Really.
You almost got hired by Soul. They sent me some flip flops, so pretty much same page.
Yeah, dude, they made up for it. They did send me some merch as well. So
A little swag
I'm
pack.
over it.
I can't even get the guys at Stacked to send me shit. Man.
Dude, I've been telling Birch forever to send me some swag too.
He always tells me that he's there. Well, I mean, there's so much shit to give Joel. I know they're busy. They're like trying to recreate crypto, and it's going to be a great product when it's ready and shipped. So. DJ Fido, thanks,
Dude,
man. Appreciate you, bud. He just said great stream was awesome. But like literally, there's going to be some nasty stuff that happens. It's going to be sick. But I always have to like needle him. I'm like, yeah, man, remember that thing you said like 5 months ago? Just checking in. Can I get a sweatshirt? Oh
I'll
my
take
God.
one too, by the way.
Yeah,
handing
dude,
them out.
if it happens, I'll definitely do it. I'll give one to cows too. Jaspo, a random Medium article fudded me out of buying Soul at 60 cents. Dude, F in the chat. Oh my God. That is horrible. That is horrible.
Find out who wrote it.
Yeah, right? You should send him a bill.
Yeah, let's get them.
Dude, just
Send him an invoice.
yeah, send him an invoice. I'm gonna need I was planning on putting in $5,000 at 60 cents. And at current rates, that would be this.
5 mil should be good. We'll
Yeah,
call it even at
we'll
5 mil.
We'll rip on that. All right, so those were, my main points. The reason why I'm saying I just got a notice from Google that apparently you can only have these meets open for 2 hours, or you got to pay them. When did Google start doing that?
2 hours?
2 hours.
Really?
Then you got to pay them.
We can talk on Discord.
That's true.
That's trash. I gotta go tear these countertops
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I probably should go acknowledge my family now.
I'm on a run, so
Yeah. No, this was
I should go acknowledge my family.
Well, look, I was around all day and I finally hopped on stream.
That's great. That's great.
But I should be streaming more often. Dale, this was fun, dude. We should do this more often, man.
Yeah, dude, it was great. I love coming on, love chatting with you and Kaz. So anytime you want me on, just ping me, man.
yeah, let's do it. That'd be
For
great.
sure. Always a good time to talk some
All right.
sports. We can talk later on about how Dale kicked me out of his fantasy football league because I was talking too much shit. That'll be next time.
Get out of here.
I'm kidding. Kaz, you took my spot is what happened. They're like, he doesn't really have a Twitter
That's
following.
right.
We're going to kick him out. Bring in Kaz. All right, guys. Well, hey, appreciate popping on. I think we have a green weekend. I think we have a fun weekend. And I'm not saying the bottom is in yet, but I'm pretty close to making a bottom call, and I will be very loud about
Let's
it when it
go.
happens.
Can I watch?
Can
Can you
what?
tell me before you tweet it?
Oh, dude, I'll for
Yeah,
sure.
tell me
I'll let
before
you
you
know.
tweet it too, so I can all in.
I'll let you know. All right, boys.
No,
Well,
so I can
Yeah.
I can tweet it first.
Yeah, I'm putting the bottom in.
All right.
Just kidding. All right, thanks, guys.
All right.
All right,
Talk to you guys soon.
yeah, word, cheers.
Bye.
Well, all right, now I will close it off here. I don't think there's anything else for me to really do on there, but also long, absolutely printing. Which one's printing? FTM? Oh my god. Well, guys, I know that wasn't your standard format, but it's been a couple weeks, and I knew they were both around because I don't usually stream at night. So hopefully that was enjoyable. You heard some origin stories. It's why the network matters. It's why I want you all to jump into Stack Labs and make it your home. You come in. I mean, those guys are in there every day. They got massive followings. They're big swingers in the space. So hopefully you guys will join the community and be part of it and make your own groups out of there, and maybe we'll be a part of it. As always, love talking to all of you again. I should be back for real next week. Should be back for real. At the very least, I'll stream Monday, Tuesday, and then we will see what goes from there if no one gets COVID again. But thank you all for popping in. Let me find my outro because I haven't played the outro in like forever. Just remember that this outro is started from the bottom, now we here, okay? We're not out. We're not out. Look at this.
5 to the 4 to the 3, 2, 1. Word.
If you were in Stack Labs, you're not down that bad off portfolio all-time highs because we ripped Adam. So join. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, this was fun. We got about 30 seconds left before this thing rides out, just so I can put a bow on this. If you want to join, you're not already in there. I think most of you are. But that would be the link. Come join. Come hang out. I joined Stack Labs on the E2800 call. Beautiful. Thanks, Bobo. Wait for the next call. I think it's coming soon. Mike joined. All right. Yeah, go have a drink. We all deserve it. Fuck's sake. Margaritas for everybody. Cheers, y'all. Have a good weekend. See you in the chat.